everybody. I decided to go live. I'm always glad to come forward, y'all. Even though no one's here. It's a weird time to be going live, too. It's 4:30. Well, okay. So I'll begin regardless. Boop, 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 boop. I probably should have waited. I should have waited to go live. It's 4:30. Okay, so I want to come on and speak to some things that I know people. Hello, Miss Boo. Hello, Alicia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to speak to some things that just are on my spirit that I think all of us can utilize, okay? Because all of us are looking to get the most out of life, right? None of us want to be a failure. None of us want to miss the mark. None of us want to fall short of whatever it is God has in store for us. But, you know, it is the enemy's job to look to derail us from standing within any of the promises that have been ordained for us before we were even born. So the title of today's live is Standing Within Your Purpose versus Living Up to Another's Expectation. You know, many of us have our paths in life already kind of carved out. We know what we want to do. We have an idea of what direction we would like to go in. We have a particular forte, a niche that we specialize in. We have been really paying a lot of attention to the things that we love, which is our niche. And, you know, we have a visualization of what we want that, what the implementation of that thing, the rollout of that niche will be like. And then we begin implementing it. We begin introducing ourselves to the world, and then stuff happens. Life begins to happen. And it's written somewhere where it says that but God laughs at our plans. Like when we decide that we have a plan and we have all of the nuances and all the particularities of the plan ironed out. We've envisioned all the possibilities, that God laughs at that thing, that God somewhat scoffs at it, because we at times could never expect some of the things that we will experience along our way in life to happen to us. But the experiences that we have are what set us apart. The experiences that we have and how we interact with them, how we interpret them is really what makes us. It's what distinguishes us, right? Like, you know, you can have the best intentions in the world and you'll be going about life implementing that intention. And then something completely contradictory to that intention, to what you envision happening, comes upon you. And you're left with the mess of it. And it's not even the mess of it that gets us down a lot of times. We can deal with the mess of it. It's just that in cleaning up the mess of it, we're posed with a new path that we haven't planned for. And a lot of the stuff that comes upon us are so traumatic that we actually need time to heal before we begin embarking on this new journey of moving forward from it. But that's not life. Life doesn't give us the ability to heal sometimes. We got to keep going while we're healing and while we're wounded. And a lot of times we have to cover up our wounds as if they never happened, lest someone else notice that we're wounded and we look weak, or we are walking with this open wound that we don't want anyone else to touch because it hurts us so bad. So we disguise it. And nonetheless, you know, sometimes you're hit with so much, you're hit with everything except the kitchen sink, and you don't understand the situations. And a lot of times these things that come upon you either propel you forward even more so, or they'll stop you in your tracks. Either way, you will have a response to them. And a lot of times you'll do both. A lot of times just looking around you and the people around you, and their response drives you in either direction. You can have a supportive system where you will feel as if, I'm comfortable and I don't need to really persevere. I can park right here because these people support me and I can find rest here. Or you can have a supportive system that pushes you forward and says, go get them. You got this. You need to go the extra mile. This situation has posed itself in your life to position you to go the extra mile. It's God's sign that you're on the right track and that you can do this. So either of those scenarios can either push you forward or they can make you stay. Or you can be in a situation where you don't have a support system and you've got to keep moving forward. You don't have a choice. And the goal in this conversation is not so much to focus on the trauma that happened, but to focus on your state of mind. What does one do when they're in this type of situation? When they have gone forward and given it all they've gotten in the face of insurmountable challenges. They've done that. They've gone forward. They've persevered. They've done all that they can do to really show themselves more than anyone that they are capable of overcoming this thing. They've allowed the situation to make aspects that were within them flower out in ways that they probably would not have had they not had those experiences. And yet the situation just keeps going on and on and on. And what you're looking at as, a promise or an end result always gets elongated. It's never ending. You've stood in your integrity. You've honored what you needed to do to face this situation with character and with integrity. But the situation is not giving you anything back. There's nothing new on this path to keep your interest. There's nothing new on this path, that has either materialized that you envisioned or that someone maybe said would materialize, or that you, like I said, envision, you hope would materialize. There's been nothing given to fuel you forward. Everything you look at within this situation looks like a negative. It's cost you everything, more than you were willing to give, more than you signed up for. But because of the integral aspect of you, because of the capable aspect that God has created within you and fine-tuning you, all those years before it showed up, you have seen yourself as capable as overcoming it. When do you get to the point when you cut your losses? When? Only a fool cannot determine when to cut their losses. How many of us have been in relationships with people that we met and we liked, and we see particularities of them that we want to build with? So we deal with stuff because all of the positives that we see that may not have materialized yet, but that we hold up in the ether, in the cloud of our minds as being potentials that this person can ascribe to. With just a little help, with just the right circumstances presenting themselves, he and I or she and I can arrive at this place. But we never end up getting to that place. We're always on a journey that leads us somewhere else and elongates the path of us ever arriving at that place. When does the person ever get to the place where they realize where they are and they stop being hopeful and they begin being realistic? When does that begin to happen? And then when you get there, what does that person that has built a lifestyle out of your wishful thinking, what does that person convey to you? Do they ever say, you know what, I was waiting on you to figure it out. I was waiting on you to make this determination. And now that you've made this determination, I'm going to now really act the way I know you've always wanted me to act. Do they ever say that? Does the guy you're dating or the girl you're dating that you're so in love with and you're so enthralled with ever say, I know you don't know if I care about you the same. I know that that's the big issue with you. And I'm going to now today tell you that I've known this all along. And I'm going to now today tell you my truest intentions of you. Okay? I was waiting on you to get to this space, this magical space, for me to tell you these things. They never say that. That person on the job is never going to acknowledge your worth. They're never going to magically say, Michelle, I know you've done a great job all along. I've always wanted to tell you how great of an employee you are. I just haven't had the ability to do it because I'm struggling with some situations myself that I hide from the world. But today is the day that I'm going to tell you how great you are. And because I finally gotten to this place in my life, I'm now going to promote you and I'm going to openly embrace you. And I'm going to put you in the category that I know that you belong in and that I've struggled with acknowledging because of my own internal stuff. These things don't happen, y'all. They don't happen. What happens is people negate you. And they begin to find flaws in you. And they will dangle carrots only for you to get to the place where you should technically win the carrot. And they don't give it to you. They replace it with another carrot. And they move further out and they dangle that one. And say, we changed it. Now come and get this carrot. And you go and you get that carrot. And now you're in front of that new carrot. Only for them to say, well, we changed it again, and now I need you to reach for this one. And if you don't reach for it, then you're condemned. You're a failure. You're not living up to your expectation. When does it ever stop? And I'm here to tell you that you are the one that makes it stop. It gets to the point where you can only say it's making me better for so long before you come to the realization that I've been better from the beginning. These are just variations of my betterment that I always was. And that the carrot, I don't need the carrot. I never wanted the carrot. I have no need for this carrot. This carrot does not legitimize me. I've always been me. And sure, the carrot forced an aspect that I already had within me forward. And thank God that I've been able to forge this aspect forward. But I'm lost in the sauce of what I've been forged to bring forward more than I am that carrot. To hell with that carrot. To hell with that carrot, friend. We get to that place somewhere along our path. And that is my message for you today. The worst thing in sales, I've had a sales history, strong sales history in both management and as an independent contributor. And the worst thing you can do in any sales job is to not hold your word, not keep your word in rewarding your sales employees. That carrot. Once they reach that threshold where they are legitimately in a space where they should be rewarded that carrot, you better make sure you reward them. Because what will happen is, after a moment, they will lose faith in you. And regardless of how viable they are as a salesperson, they will begin to look elsewhere because they've lost faith in your word, your ability to deliver upon what you promised. whether in an ambiguous way or whether in a black and white way. They will demand more than ambiguity. That person you're dating will only stay in an ambiguous state for a very short time span. You can only elongate it for so long. Before you know it, you're dependent upon them being in that space because they've been there so long and they've tried at it so long with you until they've mentally checked out with you. They don't have any more faith in you. You have all the faith in the world in them because they have delivered every time. They've stuck with you through hell and high water. You have thrown everything but the kitchen sink at these people and they have overcome it. But they will get to a place where they begin to lose faith in you. And the only way for you to settle that debt, only way for you to rectify that situation is for you to do what is rightful to do by those people based upon their experiences, what they have already brought to the table. This was on my spirit today, y'all. This is it. It's not that, a lot of times it's not that the person is inadequate. The person is probably more than adequate. The person is probably tremendously adequate, agile, can conform, can bend, can understand, and then still deliver quality to you. But it's just that you haven't been able to be consistent in what you say you're going to do. It's not a one-way street. It's a double lane highway. It's a give and take. But yet if it's constantly give and give and give and give and there's nothing given back, well, what are we dealing with? You got to know when to cut your losses. Without feeling bad, without feeling ashamed, without feeling as if you quit, without feeling any of that, but knowing you've given it all that you had, and surely there is a substantial amount more, and that's why you must get to a place where you realize it for what it is, because of the amount that you have to give, that you have it. Is it worthy of your gift? Can you implement this gift in a new way, in a new place, and feel more rewarded instead of feeling drugged through the dirt in a place where you suffer and your family is suffering, and because you're suffering, your family's suffering, and your environment suffers, and it's just a suffrage. All because it's not give and take. It's just take. We've got to get to these places as people, as children of God. We are deserving of these places. God has never led these children anywhere where it was a one-way street. God has reprimanded nations, whole kingdoms at the hand of these children. Even in their enslavement in Babylon, the Babylonians have been reprimanded by the way that they have handled these children in their disadvantaged state. It is not your birthright to be drugged through the dirt. It is not. It is not your birthright to be wishful thinking. It is your birthright to be owners and to be prosperous and to live righteously and honorably and in an integral way. And in order to do that, you've got to have boundaries. You've got to be able to have clear ideologies. Who are you? That's got to be able to be seen in your actions. What do you stand for? That must be seen in your actions. And it must be seen in the actions of people that interact with you. It is not too much to ask for. It is the bare minimum, and you are deserving of that. I just wanted to come forward with this for you today on my TikTok Live. I love y'all. I'm here to tell you, we are loved so much more than we will ever know in this physical body. Keep going. Be good to yourselves and be good to one another. Peace and love.